Hey, Miss
Hey,
Curvy. I
Miss
love the
You.
name.
You look beautiful.
So do you, darling, but you always do. And thank you, Omar, for the compliment. Appreciate you.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's get into it, y'all. So you guys were, well, Marsha was especially deliciously devilish as Nisi.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, girl, all of that. And Omar, you broke my heart as Reggie. And so having said that, for Marsha, where did you have to go to bring Nisi to the screen? And for Reggie, how did growing up in Mississippi help you connect with this character for the film? And I'll start with Marsha first.
I think every decision Nisi makes is coming from a place of love, whether it feels like love or not. Um, I think just the way we define love is different for everyone anyway, but I think it's her decision to not take care of Ptolemy personally is because she has a hard time seeing her uncle like that. It's because of all the love she has for him that she's unable to move forward, and I think that's a really human thing that happens. You know, when someone who you admire, you love, who you've seen be a strong, strong person. I watch it with my own dad. You watch somebody who you think is the strongest person you've ever seen in your entire life. Once they start weakening, you lose your foundation as a person watching it happen. And I think Nisi just is starting to lose her foundation. And you call her devilish. I think a lot of the devilish move she makes is because she's really rattled. And she's unstable in that she no longer, she's been put in the position of being the one in charge for many, many years. And she doesn't feel like this is a position she can even fulfill. She doesn't know what to do.
Yeah, my
You know?
favorite moment with her, and I say, and before we get to you, Omar, my favorite moment with her is at the end where she hugs Robin, and you think for a minute she gonna be like, "Okay, girl, come on, let's do this," and she's like, "No, I'm gonna keep fighting and walk away." I'm like, "Oh, wow."
It's
That's
complicated, Carla.
but that speaks to what you just said. That speaks to what you just said. Go ahead, Omar.
Now, mine is brief. Now, my parents are from the South. My father's from Mississippi, and so I spent a lot of time in Mississippi. But I grew up in California. But one thing that carried over is with all the Southerners, uh, taking care of the elderly, being around the elderly is a common occurrence, and it's a weekly, if not daily, occurrence. And so I grew up checking on the elderly people in our family and in our extended family sphere constantly. And the things that you learn and the way that it shapes you as a young person, because your mind is moving fast and you're moving fast and you think you know everything, and the actual wisdom that the older people can impart upon you while you're doing physical things to help them. Like when I was a kid, the high tech was setting up a VCR. That was like a big deal. And I remember my dad used to take me places and be like, he can set it up, gone. And it was like it was like, whoa! I was like a, Nikola Tesla or something because I could set up the cables on the VCR. But that was a big deal for them, and, for them to be able to tape their shows and tape the soap operas and so on and so forth. That kind of stuff has impacted me in my life. And the thing that the way that ties into Last Days of Ptolemy Gray is you see somebody who is taking care of somebody who took care of him when he was younger, and the things that he's doing now, he's doing out of love. He's taking care of his uncle because it's the right thing to do, not because he's looking for something in return. He's not looking for some a medal or some cookies or something. He's there because it's the right thing to do, and it speaks to the dynamic nature of family and the complicated nature, like Marsha was talking about, a family where everybody has to make decisions all the time that you may or may not be equipped to make. And it becomes especially complicated when you have to make those decisions for people who you are used to making decisions for you, or at the very minimum for themselves. And in that, he's looking for advice from his uncle that his uncle may no longer be able to give him. And it's kind of the catalyst of what one of the storylines that takes place in the show.
That was a beautiful moment, that moment right there where we eventually see what it was that he wanted to get that advice from his uncle about. And you guys are right. When it comes to, I watched this with my mom, and you're right about, when you watch this with a family member, it's everything, especially an elderly family member. I take care of my mom. So it was cool to watch this with her. She's a huge fan of Samuel L. Jackson Child. She see everything he in. So all I had to say was Sammy was in it and she was all down for the cause. but this is a really important limited series regarding how important family is. And like you said, Omar, they ask you to do stuff when they get older that they would do for you. So it's really a wonderful, wonderful project. And I was happy to see both of you in it. And I'm really happy that I had an opportunity to sit down and chat with you for a second about it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Carla.
Thank you,
Carla.